Last night, APD responded to the 6700 block of Kings Point on a request from patrol to assist them. They had been investigating a prowler call, and a subject ran into a residence and refused to come outside. They were able to identify him through the window and knew that he had an outstanding warrant. His refusal to come out, they then, because he refused to come out, called for SWAT. SWAT responded and attempted to get him to come out peacefully. I believe that he stepped out 4 times before the, let me see if I got this right. One time he came out before we got there, and then there were 3 additional times that he came out after SWAT was set up, where he then retreated back inside the residence. The 4th time after SWAT was there that he came out, he got far enough away from the door that they did not want to allow him the opportunity to get back in. The subject refused to follow commands, and at that point, because of the refusal, he was impacted with less lethal rounds. The less lethal rounds took him to the ground. He continued to refuse to follow commands. At one point, he stopped and put his shoe back on, leading officers to believe that he was getting ready to run. And he started crawling towards them, and then his behavior led officers to believe something was about to happen. They went up to put hands on him, and due to the circumstances, they tased him. And in the middle of that, he hops up. Let me back up. That's actually out of sequence. He was on the ground coming back towards them. He hops up with a knife that the officers didn't see at that point and struck one of my officers in the head 3 times. And the officer didn't see the knife. He ducked his head because he was thought the guy was swinging at him. And at that time he was tased, and they saw the knife. He went to the ground, and while he was on the ground and the taser was still cycling the 5 seconds, one of my sergeants went up and put his foot on his chest and pinned the knife in his hand to his chest. I had another officer that walked up and from the other side and did the same thing, pinning him to the ground until we had hands-free officers that could go up and take the knife away from him. They use their feet because they have rubber soles. They're not going to get tased because of it. They're not completing the cycle, so they can go up with their feet and touch someone that's in the middle of getting tased, and they're not going to get tased themselves.